Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Control blind playthrough. And we are in DLC country. We are in the first DLC that I think is called AWE or something. One of the expansions was called that at least. And we are on the hunt for a guy called Dr. Hartman. In the last episode, we faced off against him, and he does not seem like a very nice guy. Maybe he was at some point. He could be the type of guy that helped at orphanages and saved puppies for a living, but I don't think that's the case anymore, so to speak. And I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. I think I have been in one of these roundabout thingies before, and I know there was a control room there we could swing this thing around and perhaps open doors. And I'm guessing the Federal Bureau of Control construct these things somewhat similarly, no matter where they are placed. Could this be the control room? No. Oh. And this is so annoying because it's so dark. And darkness can be very good if you're trying to set the mood. But it's frustrating to play in, and I know from experience it's not very fun to watch. Are there any controls down here, perhaps? And also, I have to tell you, dear viewer, I bought a DualShock Sense Edge. Or DualShock Sense Edge. DualSense Edge is what it's called. DualShock was the previous generation. DualSense Edge for my PS5. And I have to say, even though I've used it very little, it is a great gamepad. It feels sturdy. The fact that you have the paddles on the back of it where you can map buttons to. I use it to map R3 and L3 to those paddles. I think it's great. I really enjoy it. It was eye-wateringly expensive. It costs way too much, I think, for a gamepad. But there aren't any options for the PS5. I don't think there are any third-party Pro controllers. So, and to me, it felt worth it. But the price was... I think it was very steep. It costs since here in Sweden we have quite high taxes on plastics and stuff like that, and also I think lithium batteries, we have chemical taxes, so it cost me an equivalent to like $270. This must be where I'm supposed to go, because there's nothing in there in the roundabout room. Because I haven't been down here at least. So yes, it was very pricey, but from my experience thus far with it, I think it was worth the money. But I still think, I have thought so for many years, and I still think so to this day, that I think that paddles on the backside of the controller should be standard at this point. Because we have gotten so far, and having two sticks double as buttons, still to me that feels like just poor design. Ah, okay, now I get it. Where did I put my lamp? Because why isn't that standardized? Still. And I realize that is basically a rhetorical question, because I realize the reason they haven't standardized it is because they can use they can use that as a feature to make people pay a lot more money for a controller with that feature. Fine, I get it. But I think hopefully one day that will become the industry standard. Maybe. But talking about pricey things, let's see, where am I? I'm over here. Okay. While we're in this chaos scene, let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. That at this point, at the point of recording this video, has not yet been released. It may be when this video is out. I'm not quite sure when this video will be up. But talking about pricey things. Because once again, with the taxes on chemicals and stuff like that here in Sweden, the Nintendo Switch 2 here in Sweden will cost an equivalent of around $700. And I think in the US it would supposed to cost like 500, 400, something like that. 450 perhaps. And that is a steep price, I think, because I didn't watch the announcement for it. I rarely watch those. I wait for places like Game Reactor and IGN to post an article with the highlights. Because I think in those announcement segments there's usually a lot of filler, and I just want to know what's relevant, like price tag and date of release, and of course some of the key features. And from what I've read, I'm not super impressed by it. It doesn't seem like the gaming press is either. And it's also one of those things that I think is very overpriced for what you get, because Swedish Game Reactor, they wrote an article about it and just crunched the numbers. And if you were to buy that console here in Sweden and you buy like 2 games for it and a Pro controller, which they call the regular controller, which I prefer to use on my regular Switch, because I don't have very big hands, but I think those small Joy-Cons, they're too small for my hands. They're not comfortable to hold. But either way, if you're buying, let's say, 2 games and you get a Pro controller because you don't want hand cramps while you're playing, you'll be spending around $1,200 for a console. And I think that is asking a lot, because I have a Switch. I think it's super fun. I bought it pre-owned of a guy on the internet. I've talked about that was one of those deals that I came across on a website where people can auction off their stuff. And he had a buy now price, which I thought for what I would get for my money, it seemed a bit suspicious. I must say, I was a bit cautious because, you know, when you're buying from strangers online and a deal seems too good to be true, that is usually the case. So I was a bit anxious because he wanted 4,000 Swedish crowns for a Diablo edition Nintendo Switch with a huge memory card, a battery pack, carry bag, total of 4 Joy-Cons. My God, let me in this room. And 2 Pro controllers and a charge stand. I think that was all that was in it. It was a big bundle of things. And I must say, to this guy's credit, he was completely legit. I paid, and I had the stuff in my hands 2 days later. Everything works great. Everything was in great condition. So I'm super happy. And I've spent a lot of time with it and had lots of fun. Let's see.
Alright, Ati. Was this what you had in mind?
And I was thinking about, my initial plan was to buy the Switch 2 on release. Because I thought that maybe it would cost 5,000 Swedish crowns, like, which is $480 perhaps, $500 maybe. Don't know exactly what the exchange rate is. But as it turns out, it's gonna cost 7,500, which is like $750, and that is just too steep. Where am I? I'm supposed to head right. So I'm gonna wait. And I'm not too happy about the fact that I'm gonna have to wait. Or have to wait, that I choose to wait, because when they announced the Switch 2, I think it was at the same like press conference, they also announced Metroid Prime 4. And I must say, I have been waiting for that game for such a long time. I'm a huge fan of Metroid Prime 1. I think it is an amazing Metroid game. I liked the second one. Never managed to complete the second one though, because that game was tough as nails. Or at least I thought so back then. Might not be the case today, because I have played quite a lot of games since the days when I played Metroid Prime 2. But I remember I got up to the final boss and didn't manage to defeat it. I did God knows how many attempts. But that boss was the bane of my existence. Ah. This room is clear. Figure I might as well just clean it out while I'm in the neighborhood, so to speak. And one thing I thought was also great about Metroid Prime 4 is that it doesn't use motion controls.
Did the Hartman thing do all this?
Because I think that's been one of Nintendo's bit of missteps through the years. Hold on. Because I think the motion controls, when Nintendo Wii came, it seemed like... Okay, did not mean to put that in there, but sure. Okay, I get it. I'm supposed to move these around. Let's see, the red cables. This should be moved over here then. Let's see. This one goes to there. Oh. Let's see. This one, I think I should. Hold on. No, that's the incorrect one. Let's see. That one goes there. And this one is that one. Ah, that one. Which one was it? Was this one? No. That's the one. No, it is not. What the hell? I'm feeling I'm playing very disorganized today. But somehow it seems I got to where I'm supposed to go.
Lots of dark corners to hide. Okay, let's get the lights on and clear him out.
Move the train forward to activate the lights. That's quite a life drain you got there. Wow. Round one goes to him. And I'm gonna end this episode right here, but I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.